Hello everybody! I recently posted my first Philippines video and right now it's going crazy. So many people from Philippines are messaging and they're subscribing. Thank you so much. It made me very happy. But today's topic is my 10 days solo time in Philippines. If you followed me already, I'm traveling Southeast Asia with my boyfriend. But when we were in Manila, he needed to buy a last-minute ticket to France, where he's from. That's why I, for the first time, was solo in my life. And I always wanted to try it out. And I think it was like the perfect timing because I was already in Philippines and I was already traveling like for over a month at that time. And I knew that Hector is gonna come back in like 10 days. So it was like a perfect trial for me to see if I can travel solo in the future as well. I was a little bit scared that I would not like it and then like for all of my dreams about solo traveling will go away. But eventually it was a good experience. So I will go in detail. We were in Manila airport and we were gonna go to El Nido. And to go to El Nido, we decided to fly to Puerto Princesa first and then stay there and then take a minivan to El Nido because it was cheaper that way. We have our ticket at 6:10 p.m. that day. We went to the airport pretty early after checkout time from the hotel, so we were in the airport 6 hours before the flight. During that time, like, he decided to buy a ticket to Paris, so he was working on that. And then I was thinking, oh, okay, like I'll be solo then. Where can I stay in El Nido? I was checking hostels for me. And eventually when we were in the airport, I checked the flight that I was gonna take. So he decided to miss his flight and take another flight because he was already in the airport. And I checked my own flight and it was at 6:10 p.m. But in the screen, it was showing like 7 something p.m. And we both made sure that it was our flight because we checked the flight number too, so we were like, oh, okay, it's gonna delay then. So that's why like I was acting more chill. I was like, okay, we have time. We can figure out your situation because we already checked him for that flight, but Hector needed to get his luggage back because he was gonna take another flight. So we were working on that. And then I just wanted to check it again like right before like 6 p.m. And this time it was showing no delay. So I was like, what? Like, we were sure that there was a delay. So we ran to the gate. They said our name in the announcement. And we were running to the gate. And like, we were seeing the gate when they were announcing our name. And we missed that flight. I mean, not we, like I missed that flight because only I was gonna take that flight. So that was my like first solo. I mean, I was not even solo at that time. But like, I was like, shit, like this is not a good start, but it's okay. Like, I can do it, like we're gonna figure it out. Just like a flight ticket, we can get another one. So the next flight was 1 hour after and they told me I cannot buy that flight. There was no ticket office and I cannot buy it online either. So the next ticket was at 4 a.m. at night. So I was like, okay, like I don't want to go to city and then come back. So I just decided to get that flight at 4 a.m. and Hector already bought his ticket at midnight. First, Hector was the one who boarded his plane, so he went to Paris and then I was eventually solo at that time. So I also told my parents about the situation too. And then I was like, okay, like I'll be solo for 10 days, but it's okay, don't worry. And I'm going to a touristic place, like it's gonna be fine. But they didn't think that way. They were like, they even told me to just like come back and finish the trip. But I was like, no, like it's gonna be fine. But that affected me a little because like there was no support coming from them. So like I was just like telling myself like it's gonna be fine. We didn't have that much cash. So Hector gave me one of his credit cards because one of the most things that I was scared of is ATM swallowing a card or like somehow me losing my card. I only had one card, so I wanted to have another card with me. Right before he boarded, like we were messaging, I was saying, okay, like I don't have that much cash, so I guess like I'll just go to the ATM here and get cash here. Right after we stopped talking because he was in the air, I went to the ATM and put the card in. And then the machine didn't answer. Like the machine just like stopped there and then I was like, fuck. It happened. And it was my first time using the ATM. Like before that, always Hector was like using it. And then like my first time putting the card in, the machine just like swallowed the card. Like I was acting very calm, but I was like, I missed the flight, and then this is happening, like what the fuck. And then I saw a policeman. I explained him the situation. He was very polite, like he was very helpful. So he brought me to the desk of that bank, and then they told me just forget that card, you cannot get it back. And then I went back and then like waited in front of the ATM for a while. I just sat down and then like waited, hoping that it will bring the card back maybe, but it didn't. And then eventually I was like, okay, I have a little amount of cash, but we can do it, because I still had my own debit card. But if that will get stolen too, because of my luck, what would I do? So I took the plane. The plane was pretty short, so like 2 hours, and the plane is at like 4 AM, right? And then it's like 6 AM. The airport was like right in the city, a little weird. And then I was like already scared of like getting scammed from either taxis or like tricycle drivers. So like I just checked at like 7 AM, and then it was showing 25-minute walk to the hotel from the airport. So I was like, fuck it, I don't want to get scammed, I don't want any bad story, I'll just walk, what can happen, right? I just walked to the hotel like half sleepy. It started to rain, but like I had my bag, and then I was just walking, and then tricycles were like, do you want a ride? And then I'm like, no. And then, I mean, I could have taken a ride, but like, I don't know. It was just this, it was the psychology I had at that time. So I went to the hotel. I slept until very late. The hotel owner was very nice. There was like grandmother, mother, and the child as well, like 3 generations. And they were very helpful. And then like I was just like asking them like, it's safe here, right? Is it safe? Is it solo female? And then I told them my story. And then they were like, yeah, don't worry, like it's safe here. You can take the tricycle, like don't worry. So that was like helpful. And when I was talking with them, their dog peed on me. I was like, oh, little dog, it's cute dog. And then the cute dog peed on me. So I was like, okay, I'm used to these things. I'm like, okay, pee on me. So when I was there in Puerto, Princesa, there was like a festival. So I just like hanged around there. And there was a bay walk next to the sea. I went there. Yeah, so like it was a nice day. And the next day, I had a minivan to El Nido, and El Nido was the part that I was pretty excited. And in the minivan, there was one guy like sitting in front of me. He was always looking to the window, but like I can't tell, he's like trying to look at me, and like I got pretty uncomfortable. Eventually, like he was again looking at me, and then I said like, what? I said what? And then he stopped looking at me after. So there was no problem there, but like I don't know, like I got kind of scared, and I'm happy that like he just left the minivan, the stop before me. So I got in El Nido, and for El Nido I chose a very nice hostel, so I was very excited for my stay in El Nido, because in the hostel there was a rooftop pool. So I was like, ooh, this hostel looks nice, I will meet with people. And the room I got was like a female dorm with 6 beds. So I was like, okay, I think I will meet with people. And like, I was very curious if it's gonna be easy for me or not to meet with people. So I went to the room that day. Like, there were people, but they were not there. And then like, I was like, okay, I'll check the pool. And then I checked the pool, and then I was like chilling in the pool, but like there are people as groups. And I was like, should I say hi? Like, should I socialize? Like, as in hostels, everyone is like very friendly, so should I say hi? And I was feeling so weird, like alone in the pool. And eventually I was like, okay, just say hi to the girls next to you. And then I said hi to them. And then like after talking 5 minutes, they left. So I was alone again, and then I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll just go to the room. So the first night I was pretty alone, couldn't meet with anyone. And that night, I met with a girl in the room. I was so happy that I started to talk with someone. And then we were talking in the room, and then her alarm took off. And then she was like, oh, time to sleep. I'm gonna sleep. And then she went to bed, like right before I was gonna ask her, like, do you wanna actually like, go out and then talk there? She was like, oh, time to sleep. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I just couldn't meet with anyone in the first day. And that night, I heard someone coming to the room. So I was like, okay, new person, maybe I can meet with her. And in the morning, she was still in the room when I woke up. I woke up pretty late. I was like, what am I gonna do? Whatever, I can just sleep in. And then she was still in the room, so we met with her. And I studied in Canada and she's from Canada, so we were like, oh, okay, like Canada, nah. And then we decided to have breakfast together. So I had a friend the next day right away, and with her we booked a boat tour together for the next day. So that day, like, we spent time with her, walked around El Nido, went to a beach, and then the next day we had the boat tour. The boat tour was amazing. It was so nice. We did tour A in El Nido, and I really liked the hostel too. So everyone like met up in the lobby of the hostel. When you have one person with you, like, you're like, okay, easy to meet. But like when I'm just alone, not knowing anyone, like, it's a weird feeling, I think. So we went to the boat, and then in the beginning I couldn't meet with anyone in the boat tour because the boat was like very loud, and my friend was talking with the person next to her. So I was just like sitting alone. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just watch the sea until the first stop. And then the first stop was like a snorkeling place, and it was like amazing. It was the cleanest water I saw, and I saw like so many fish. After that we had lunch, and like at that time, like, everyone started to meet with each other more and more. And then after lunch, the lunch was perfect, by the way, like it was the best lunch ever. After the lunch we went to a lagoon, and for that lagoon you need to get a kayak, and 3-person kayak was cheaper. So I met with another guy there, and then with that guy we also got close, so I spent time with him later on as well. And we did kayaking with him. It was like a very nice place in the lagoon. And then the last step of that tour was a beach. At the beach they gave us like 1.5 hours, so it was a lot of time. I met with 2 other Peruvian guys there, and they were like so friendly. So at the end of the boat tour, like, everyone got very close with each other in a weird way. Like, it was so quick. And in the boat on the way back, like, they gave us like free rum and coke, so everyone drank a little. The hostel also gave like free shots on the rooftop pool. So when we were back, they were like, okay, come to the rooftop. So I directly went to the rooftop. All of the people we already met was there. So it was very nice, and then everyone was like, we should go out tonight. And then I was like, okay, let's see. Like, during our trip with Hector, we never went out. I don't know, like it's nice to go out as a group, but like when we're just 2 of us, like, we don't have that thing, you know. So I was like, okay, like, I'll do it. Everyone is like very friendly, I'll do it. And those people like stay in that hostel for a few days too, so I was like, okay, like, I'm having fun here, so I'll just like extend my stay here. But I got sick. I got fucking sick. And then I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, am I COVID? Like, what is this? Why am I sick? And then I started to get paranoid. I thought I had malaria. Like, I don't know, like, when I search for it, like, it says it's not in the big cities and stuff. But like, if you don't get a treatment, like, online, it says you can die. So I was like, did I get malaria? Like, I was expected to have the worst at that point. I don't know. So I got a COVID test, like, I did a self-kit test, it was negative. But like, I was pretty sick, like, I was very tired, and then like, when it happened, I didn't really join to the people, so my socialization ended at that point because I was just focused on like healing. After staying El Nido for a few nights, eventually I took a boat from El Nido to Coron, and 2 other Peruvian people were also taking that boat, so we took it together. And because I was scared, I was like, okay, I'll just go to the hospital when I'm in Coron, and like, I'll ask if it's malaria. And then right after I landed, I went to the hospital. And when I went to Coron, like, it was a hostel again, it was a female room, and like, there was a British girl there, and then I met with her right away. I was feeling that I was sick, and I didn't want anyone sick, but like, she didn't care. She was like, no, we can have dinner together, just let me know after you come back from the hospital. And I was like, okay, I'll let you know. And then I went to the hospital, and then they said malaria is not common here, and they said, but it might be something else, the lung or something, it might be another thing. And then when she said that, I was like, okay, I guess like it's not malaria then. Like, I just left the hospital. And that night, so I was in a shared room, right? It was like 3 girls, and my nose was so bad, like I couldn't breathe, like fully stuffed. I was not breathing, and then I was like making this smells. And like, I'm in a shared room, right? And they know that like I'm sick. I told them too, because I was stressing. I was like, do you guys think I'm malaria? And then they were like, no, don't worry, but like I was just ready for the worst one, and my parents were saying, go to the doctor, go to the doctor, wait, if it's that, go, go, go. I learned that there's like those mint lentil thing, you breathe them and then it opens up your nose. Like I was like, fuck it, like I'll go get that. It was almost midnight and I went to the lobby and then I said like, okay, I'll go to the hospital, how much will the tricycle be? And then they were like, at this time, like we can drive you, don't worry. So the guy in the hostel drove me to the hospital pharmacy. Like they were so polite. I'm so surprised, but like it's so nice. Like I was like, these people are so nice. And when I was in the hospital on the way back from the tricycle, I also like asked him like, I'm sick, do you think I'm malaria, to the tricycle driver, and then he was like, no, don't worry, it's just Philippines weather, you just got cold probably. So like I don't know, people were very nice. And those guys in the hostel, they brought me to the pharmacy. I got that thing, I came back, I'm back in the room, I'm trying to do it. Like it's helping this much, but like eventually after 30 minutes both of my nose was like gone, so it's not helping because I need to breathe that to help me open up my nose. So it was fucked up. And then I went to the lobby again and then I said like, do you have another room that's private? Because I didn't feel comfortable at all in a shared room. So I asked that and then they said, yeah, there is one room empty, you can go there if you want. So I changed my room to that one and that was comfortable, thank God. So I fell asleep eventually there. And when I woke up, my stay there was 2 nights, but I just stayed there 1 night because I just wanted to go to a private room. Like that room was still a shared room, but there was no one there, that's why I stayed there, but I just wanted a private room. So I switched to a private room eventually. And the next day of it, Hector came. So this was my story of being alone. I like telling stories, I think. Do I like it? I think I like it. Okay. So pros and cons, I made a pros and cons. So honestly I feel like there are a lot of pros, but in that list there's only one pro. I don't know. So the pro is, met with so many people who I felt close very quickly. Like I seriously felt like, I don't know, it was very nice. I don't know if it's the hostel because it was my first hostel experience, but the people I met, like they stayed in so many hostels and some of them said like that hostel was their favorite hostel so far. So I'm sure that the hostel was very amazing, but the people there were like so friendly, and I don't know, you got very close with people when you're traveling. Like that's a very nice feeling. I really liked it. Like I don't know, like when I'm in Vancouver, I don't get close with someone that quick. That's why like I really like that feeling. I don't know, that was a big pro. Because when I'm with Hector, like I don't really have the urge to meet with people because I'm already comfortable like with Hector and then there's already someone. But when I'm alone, like I just want someone next to me, so I'm like more open to meeting with people, and other people are also like that. So you can all of course meet with other people when you're with someone too, especially if you stay in hostels. With Hector we don't stay in hostels because private rooms are cheaper, that's why. But yeah, that was the biggest pro. Cons, mood change. Sometimes wanted to be with people, sometimes wanted to be alone. When I was alone, felt sad because I had the feeling of everyone else spending their time 100% efficient. I think this is just like a thing that I will be able to get over with, but I had that feeling, like in general, when I was alone. Like it was a bit weird. Like I was like, once I was feeling so happy, I was like, oh my god, these people are amazing, being solo is the best. And then like I was in my room in the evening and then I was like so bored, and then I was like, I didn't want to do anything. But like you have a small bed and then like you hear people are like outside spending their time. So I don't know. I think like in this trip I was not sure if I'm like introvert or extrovert. Like sometimes I felt very extrovert, sometimes I felt like extremely introvert. So I'm not sure, I couldn't figure it out that much during this trip. Another con, so I don't know how to ride a motorbike, so I couldn't go to the further places. So when I'm solo I need to figure that out, because when I'm with Hector, Hector rides it, so that's perfect. And I think in Southeast Asia that's a must, you need to know how to ride a motorbike. third con, that's the biggest con for me. I couldn't vlog because I was shy. Like, I'm alone, and how am I gonna hold the camera in front of everyone? I'm alone, you know what I mean? But I don't know, honestly, this is very hard for me. Like, I didn't force myself because I was like, whatever, like Hector's gonna come back and then like I can vlog then. So I didn't force myself, but like, I don't know what I will do if I have a like solo trip. Like, I guess I need to be like very open with it, and then like just, I hope I can figure that out in the future. And the other con is I needed to think about my safety more because I'm an alone woman. Honestly, I didn't really like feel unsafe, except that guy in the van. But then I said like what, and then he just didn't look after. So it was pretty much okay, honestly. But still, like, I need to be more careful with those type of stuff. When I'm with Hector, like, I don't really think about it. Yes. Is there another pro? Like, for pros, like, you can't say that, like, you have the freedom to do anything because you can do whatever you want. But, like, with Hector, we have common wishes and I still do whatever I want. It's not a pro for me, but, like, for some people, it can be. So, yes. This was the trip of me being solo. I really liked El Nido. Honestly, it might be my favorite place actually in Philippines, but yes. The next video is going to be an awesome video, like an awesome video. The next video is in Coron and we're staying in a very nice place. So I will see you in that video if you're curious about that one. Subscribe. Yeah, I can't believe I have, look, I'll show you. I keep refreshing the page. Wait, focus. Okay, so this is my subscriber count. So this is my subscriber count and I refresh it. Oh my god. This is crazy for me. This is seriously crazy for me. Thank you so much, whoever is subscribing. Yes, I'm excited for my YouTube right now because it's increasing. Okay, I'm pretty happy. I'll edit this video and post this video, and then the next video will be amazing. Okay, see you in that video. Bye bye.